This man, who is a pastor, is one of the 5 suspects paraded by the police in Ondo State. The suspect, who came from Ibadan, Oyo State, for a 3-day revival, allegedly raped a woman under the guise of performing spiritual deliverance on her.
These people are aware that we are not...
Police spokesperson in the state, Fumilayo Dunami, said the pastor forcefully slept with the pregnant woman without her consent.
We also have a case of a rapist who claimed to be a prophet from Oyo State. He went into a community in Ondo State called Agbabu and said the Holy Spirit ministered to him to run a 3-day revival program. In the course of the program, he claimed he saw a vision concerning a 22-year-old lady who was 8 months pregnant and that he was to deliver her of an evil spirit. He took the young lady into a particular room in the mission house and had carnal knowledge of her.
The suspect confessed to the crime but said he didn't rape her.
After the prayer finished, I don't know how I sat on top of the lady where me with her access, not by force, not for raping. So after when I rape, where I've said it, where me I had sex finished, I can't get up. When I get up, I can't begin to cry.
11 months after it put a nationwide strike on hold, ASUU on Monday gave 3 weeks to the government to implement agreement reached. To avert another round of industrial action is the reason for this meeting at the instance of the Speaker. Femi Gbajabiamila appeals to the teachers not to down tools again.
I do not believe that we can afford another strike.
ASUU and the federal government gave their sides of the story. The union traces the history of the crisis to the 2009 agreement it says is yet to be implemented. It speaks to 8 issues in contention to include funding for revitalization and academic allowance, problematic IPPIS, and the proliferation of state universities without requisite funding. The teachers demand government's commitment to the payment of 22.12 billion naira and academic allowance.
If a lecturer has not been paid for 13 months, I would say that particular IPs is sound, it is error-free, and you cannot pay salary. Some will pay 4 months, they will stop, they will pay 2 months and stop, and what have you.
Finance Minister and the Minister of State for Education say 30 billion naira has been released for the revitalization of the universities.
I can confirm that revitalization for some, the way we agreed, has actually been released.
I'm concerned that the chairman said that there are some staff that have up to 17 months of salaries not paid. I haven't got any such report.
Members of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Education and associated institutions (NASU) are threatening to embark on an industrial action. They made the threat at the just concluded National Executive Council meeting of the association. President of the union, Makolo Haxan, insists that the increase in payment of the earned allowances is expedient, following rise in the cost of goods and services in the country.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, in its Education for All report for 2000 to 2015 tagged Dakar Framework of Action, called for significant increase in financial commitment by national governments and donors to the education sector to accelerate progress towards achieving the EFA goals.
The General Secretary of the Union, Peter Adeyemi, said it's important for governments to honor the agreements it entered into. He said it is a collective bargaining agreement that has not been honored.
The going cap in hand, begging government to apprehend strike. So when you go on this strike, they call you to a meeting, you will hardly see other agencies of government there. We in ASUU have attended several meetings that the Minister of Labour will be seated. In our presence, the Minister will be calling budget, this, that. These guys don't respect the trade union. They think we are just there for nothing. And that is why the orientation has to change. It's not about lack of knowledge. It's about lack of will on the part of employers to do what is desirable.